Hi, everyone. Thank you guys for joining me this afternoon. If you are having any trouble hearing, can you just let me know in the chat if you hear me speaking? I did have an incident earlier this week where I presented the first half of a session when I was muted. So if anybody that's currently watching right now could just let me know in the chat that they're able to hear me and see my screen, I would love to dive in and get started. Also, additionally, if you could kindly just put your first and last name in the chat if you're watching live, and then I'll know where to send your PD cert. If you are watching this at a later date, you're watching a recorded session, that's fine too. But you're going to have to take the form. There will be a form linked to like the session description in the main doc. And then you'll have to take the form from there. So I don't see anybody commenting that they can hear me. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Melinda, Jen. Awesome. So you guys can hear me. I'm good to go. So I was just rambling on about something as usual. Real quick, before I dive in with the wonderful world of EdPuzzle, if you go to tinyurl.com/virtual PD, it brings you to this interactive Google Doc where you're able to register for summer PD and you can view the entire calendar. Please keep in mind that while we're doing multiple sessions a day, sometimes PD certs don't come out immediately. I mean, we generously put here like to give us until September 4th. We're usually pretty quick. I mean, I usually try to send it the same day. However, sometimes we're pulled in a million different directions and we don't get a chance to type into that form and automatically generate them for you. And then if somebody else presents a session and you didn't get a cert from them, you're going to have to ask them because that's who creates it. But again, you'll notice, like, I know there's a couple self-paced courses where the content creator put on there, like, just so you know, I'll be sending them out the week of September 1st. Like, there's a lot of different people doing a lot of different things at a lot of different times, and we're trying to stay as organized as possible. So we are doing our best, just like I know you are. I wanted to point something out because I think there might have been a little issue with the alerts. There are many different kinds of sessions. So the one you're in today is obviously taking place on YouTube, so it's open to the public. These were the ones that you didn't have to pre-register for, although some of you opted to get notifications. I got 3 emails today asking about this, so I'm not sure that notifications went out. I have to check and see maybe where I went wrong with that. I will double check on that for you guys. But if for some reason you don't get a notification for one of these YouTube sessions, if you simply come to, like, let's say this session right here is called Engage and Assess with EdPuzzle. If you come to the title of the session at the given time and click on it, okay, you don't want to hear my voice. If you come right here, you can see the screen, you can hear, and I can see the chat here. So I'm part of the session. Like, I apologize for those who didn't get an alert, but please keep in mind you can always join any session. Those YouTube sessions you do not have to pre-register for. These Meet sessions, these green M's, those are the ones that we've been sending you via Google Calendar. Those are the ones that I hope you've been getting all of them. If not, you can watch the recordings. A quick little note about the recordings, like here's an example of a recording. If I click on this, I can watch the recording from Christina. When I'm done watching a recorded session, I have to click the form in the description to be able to get a PD cert. And like I said, there's a lot happening right now. So everybody has until August 31st to get those done, to get their certs. I counted it up today, and it's almost 40 hours of PD you can get credit for this summer just through our department alone. And I know Beth and Margaret are offering a ton of stuff too. So yeah, like there's a ton of options and you have plenty of time to do it. There's cohorts you can still join, and most of this is able to be done at any time. So I wanted to point out that if you see a YouTube one, you can easily click on the title and go watch live. And if you're watching this later, I know I'm going to point this out too. If you guys, I think I said it before, but if you could just put your first and last name in the chat so I know who to send your PD cert to, that would be very helpful. But if you're not watching this live, don't put your first and last name in the chat because obviously you weren't watching it live. So you're going to have to fill out the form to get credit for being part of this today. With that being said, I'm going to dive right into EdPuzzle. So if you're not familiar with EdPuzzle, I know we talked about EdPuzzle for a long time. Basically, EdPuzzle is a tool that uses videos from other platforms, and you can actually break up the videos with notes and questions and voice comments and all kinds of things. It also does link with your Google Classroom, and I'm going to show you all of that as well. So today I'm going to show you how to get started. I'm going to show you how to create content, and I'm going to show you what it looks like on the student's end as well, because I am logged on with my personal account as a student. So I'll be able to show you both sides of it. So first things first, you would go to edpuzzle.com. I have a free account because obviously free is always better. So I have a free account, and I signed up with my Louisville Public Schools Google account, and I can change it at any time. Let's say I get a job, they ask me to come teach dance at Harvard. I'm not sure why that's where I went, but let's pretend I can still keep my account. So I'm logged in right now, edpuzzle.com. When you, in the upper right-hand corner, click to log in or sign up, you have to click I'm a teacher, and then you set it up from there. If I wanted to change any settings on my account, in the upper right-hand corner, I would click on my little profile picture, or it might be your initial if you've never been logged in before. I can see that if you're operating with a free account, I have limited storage. And I deleted most of my other videos because I didn't want them to take up space, but we'll get to that in a second. I'm going to just click on my name. And then from here, I can upload a new photo. I can change my name. I saw that Casey was in here, and congratulations, she recently got married. So maybe she's changing her name, and maybe she wants to update that here. You can update your email, change your password, and you can also connect to, like I said before, your Google account, which is how I connected it to my Google Classroom. You can also adjust your settings. So I wanted to talk about these default assignment settings. You can change them while you're creating assignments, which you're going to see momentarily. I keep both of these on because I like to prevent skipping. If people are doing my activities, that just means that people can't like fast forward ahead to the questions. They have to actually watch the video. And then I usually keep closed captions on anyway, just because I think it's a nice practice. I can change my school here. Maybe I'm transferring to Rick Avenue. I can easily click and change school, my subject area, and then plan. Obviously, I'm free, and I'm sure you will be too. So up here in the upper right-hand area, I can click on my classes. Right now, I only have one class. I deleted my old ones because this has been my same account since 2016, so I had a ton of random classes here, and they're all gone now. So I only have this one to show you today. So I clicked on my classes, and it's located here. If I wanted to add a new class, I can simply click the box that says Add New Class, and then I can either create a brand new class, or if I'm using Google Classroom, I can click Google Classroom. So let me show you both. So to create a new class, I click Create New Class, and then I'm going to give it a name. So I'm going to pretend I am a kindergarten teacher. And I'm going to create my class now, and now I have my entire class created. So here's how people join your class. So in the upper right-hand area of my screen, do you see this blue box that says Invite Students? Just going to check and see. You guys are good, right? I just wanted to check the chat because I'm still paranoid that you're randomly not going to hear me. So again, in the upper right-hand area, I clicked Invite Students. I can give kids or parents this code. So just like Google Classroom, the people would go to their account. Let me show you real quick. I'm going to copy this. Here is myself logged in as a student. I could click Join Class and type or paste the code in and then find my class, and I could join it. So now the student has two classes. All right, let me get rid of this again. I could do that, or I could copy a link to my class, paste it in an email, or paste it on my teacher website, or I can share via email. I pretty much would, especially with little guys, I would either do this one, or I would just copy a link and paste it on a parent kind of communication platform. Also in the upper right-hand area, you have some class options. If I click the class options box, this is where I can change my code. I can lock the classroom once my class is filled up. I have everybody I need in there. I can also change the name of my class. Maybe I got married to Harry Styles. So maybe I wanted to change my last name to Mrs. Styles, and I could do that if I wanted to. Or I can, of course, delete it, which I'm not going to do. So the other option with adding a class, if I click add new class and I choose Google Classroom, it's going to automatically pull up my classes that are currently active in Google Classroom. So you don't see any of my archived classes here. I already added my training class. I'm not going to do this because I don't want to throw them off, but I would click on any of these if I wanted to import those classes as well. Actually, I'm going to do it. Hopefully they don't get thrown off. So I'm going to check this off and go to import classes. So from here, I have no students, but I know I have students in that class. That's because I'm on the Do Assignments tab. I'm going to click on Students, and here are my students in the class. So I automatically imported them directly from Google. All right, let's move forward. So this is my classes. This is how we change our class options, how we set them up, and we're good to go. I'm going to go back up to the upper right-hand corner of my screen. So I'm currently in my classes. I'm going to click on Gradebook. We're not here yet, but obviously this is where it's located, and I can switch between these different classes. So I've got 3 right now. If I click this drop-down menu, I can go between my different classes. Again, I have nothing done yet. We're going to have that in a moment, so I can go between my gradebooks there as well. And finally, I'm going to click on the word content. I can actually get to content by clicking on the word content here or clicking on the EdPuzzle logo. They take me to the same exact place. So teachers all over the world have already created content for you that you are welcome to use. So if somebody would like to throw in the chat, is there a topic that you currently cover in your class, like a specific thing that you maybe teach in September? Or there must be a delay because I ask questions and nobody answers, and I know you're probably very much engaged. All right, I'm going to just name a topic then. Let's say, let's do May Jemison. She's somebody that we're going to learn about in my kindergarten class. So I'm going to come back to EdPuzzle now, and I'm going to search content up at the top for May Jemison. But I see that people have created some things. You can see over on the left, there are some popular channels. These are places that people pull videos from. So here are things currently on EdPuzzle. Here are some activities already created by other educators. I can see here are some videos on YouTube. I could go to see more and see where other things are pulled from. I think I'm going to just check some of these out. So let's see. I want to check out this first one by Alexis Carlson. I don't know who that is, but let's check it out. So I clicked on it. I want to preview it. I can see they've added 3 activities. So as this little preview, I can see anywhere there's one of these little gray things, that's a little activity they want me to do. So let's see what it looks like. Here's the first one. It's open-ended. Why did her teacher ask her if she wanted to be a nurse? I'm going to skip it. Let's check out the next one. The next question is, what type of work did she do while in space? So maybe as I'm going through this, I'm like, you know what? Oops, sorry. Maybe as I'm going through this, I think to myself, you know what? I like these questions, but I want to add a few more. In the bottom right-hand area, I can click on the word edit, and I can actually add my own stuff. So I'm going to get to this again, but let me just show you how to edit someone else's stuff. So I can see which time they added specific things. I'm going to start with cutting. Let's say I really only like the first, Let's say I really only like the first 2 minutes of a video. Oh, maybe I'm not allowed. Yeah, I am. If I mouse over the ends of the video, see this little line here? It turns like dark gray, or this one, I can cut it down. So I'm going to mouse over it and click. I have this little hand. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to drag it because I like it until it gets to like right here. So now I've deleted this part of the video. I'm just working on this section. All right, so I can cut my video down. I could also cut off the beginning if I wanted to. The next option I have when I'm editing this content is I can click on voiceover and I can add little voiceover, voiceover is the entire thing. So this is the example I always go to, and I don't mean it to be mean, but sometimes when I watch videos, people have that, what was that guy's name? The guy who talks like this. Bueller, Bueller. Is it Ben Stein? Did I make that up? I was hoping somebody in the chat would tell me. Okay. Well, you're probably going to yell it out after I'm already past this because there's definitely a delay of at least a minute, I think. But if you wanted to add a voiceover, you could replace the entire audio of a video. So maybe you found a video from Khan Academy that you really like, but you wanted to liven it up a little bit or personalize it. You can do that. You don't even need to create your own video. You can just add your voice. I'm going to skip this one for now, but just keep that in mind. You're able to make your own voiceovers for these. And I'm going to go to questions, which is probably where you're going to want to spend most of your time anyway. So I have 3 different options. The first one, let's say right here, I want to ask a question. I'm going to ask a multiple choice question. So at this 11-second mark, I'm going to click multiple choice question. And obviously you wouldn't be like me and randomly clicking around like that. I'm sure you would thoughtfully prepare this content. I'm going to check back and see. Okay, yes, Ben Stein. I was just curious to see if I remembered his name. So here's how we make a multiple choice question. And we have a lot of options here. I'm going to say, oh, what's a multiple choice question about Mae Jemison? True or false? Mae Jemison was a classically, she's very much alive, is a classically trained ballerina. And I can say true or false. Now I can add additional responses right here, additional answer choices, but I want to point out some cool features here. So first things first, I can change my formatting. So maybe I want to make the words true or false bold. I can also do a hyperlink. So maybe I found this article, Mae Jemison ballerina. Here's an article about, I don't know, something related to this. Again, I'm quickly doing this, but I know you're going to take your time and thoughtfully prepare this. So maybe I would like to hyperlink these words. I'm going to highlight classically trained ballerina and choose link. I'm going to paste that URL. So now if the kids click on that, it's going to bring them to this article about how dance helped her as an astronaut. I have options if this is one of your math activities. I can insert equations. I can also add pictures. So I'm going to click on this little photo icon and I can upload an image or use a URL. So let me show you how to get a photo with a URL. I'm going to come to Google and type Mae Jemison ballerina. Let's do an image search. And I showed this earlier. I'm going to show it one more time because it's important. I'm doing an image search and I'm going to go to settings and I'm going to go to advanced search. And you don't have to do this. I just recommend it because it's the right thing to do. So usage rights, I'm going to change to free to user share. And now let's say I really like this picture of Mae Jemison. I'm going to click on that picture. Oops, sorry. So I added a picture of her there. And I can do the same thing for the responses as well. But this is a cool option too. The answer is true. She is a classically trained ballerina. I can also give feedback. So you see in the like light gray in this bottom right hand corner, I can add feedback and say, the answer is true. So if somebody responds true, I'm not sure why they would want to see that, but let's just pretend. If they responded false, maybe this is where I would give them a link to that article about how she is a classically trained ballerina. So I'm going to click save. And then I'll continue. And then let's say right here, I wanted to add my own little note. I have a couple options. I can type out a note. I don't know these people. Or I like this option. I can add a voice recording. So this is the Earth. Many people have been here before. So I'm going to stop it when I'm done. And I'm just going to save it because obviously this is, if you guys want to link to this, you're probably going to want to use it in your classes. It's really hard hitting stuff. So let's say I went through this whole thing and I put together this great activity. I'm going to click finish. Finish. So now I can preview it here. Or I can go to assign. So in the bottom right-hand corner, I can continue to edit it. Don't forget, nothing is permanent. I'm going to assign it so you can see what it looks like from a student's perspective. So I'm going to assign it to my kindergarten class, since I know I have my fake student in there. And I'm just going to start it today. Again, I can change this so it launches at a specific time. I'm going to start it today, and I'm going to say it's due today, and it's due by 7 p.m. Oops. All right, 11:59 p.m., just for the sake of time. Save. And now again, remember those options I showed you at the beginning: prevent skipping, turn on closed captions. That's totally up to you, but I'm going to keep it on. So now I'm going to click assign. I can also, in the bottom right-hand corner, if I go to share assignment, I can copy the link to the assignment, so you could post it in a Seesaw or a Classroom or wherever else, or you can embed it on your teacher website. Okay, I don't care about that. Now let me bring over my student. Remember, I'm already logged in as a student here because I wanted to show you both sides of it. So I'm a student, I just logged in, and now I can see that I have an assignment due. This assignment about Mae Jemison. It starts today and it's due today. So I'm gonna finish this assignment for my teacher. Real quick, I'm gonna try to skip ahead. Oh, did you see that? That little circle with a line through? I can't skip ahead because my teacher is not allowing me to. So let's finish it. True or false? Mae Jemison is a classically trained ballerina. I'm not sure. Let me check it out. Oh, I think the answer is yes. So true. I got some feedback. The answer is true. Maybe if it said false, it would say like, hey, read the article. Continue. I'm going to wait for the next assessment too. May worked alongside Jan Davis, Mark Lee, and other astronauts come to Jemison. I have another question. Oh, it's just a note. I don't know these people. I want to point this out too. So maybe if you were showing something and they needed to revisit a concept, they could rewatch that section. So I think that's pretty cool. Like, I use myself as an example often because there were certain subject areas I really needed extra help with, and maybe I was weird like about asking for help, but in this case they can get it themselves, which I think is pretty special. All right, I'm going to move this screen to the side so I can show you. Again, I'm logged in as myself. I'm a teacher. So maybe I realized one of my students already logged in and I didn't want them to get started yet. I can reset their progress. I'm going to refresh it so you can see what my kids are doing. Oh, I see Alicia DeSeppola is doing the assignment right now. She watched 10% of it so far. She hasn't turned it in yet. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go through this, but once I finished it, they would just submit it, and then it would appear here, and it would tell you what their grade is too. I can also see questions. If I click on this questions tab, I was previously in students tab. Now I'm going to questions, and I can see who answered what correctly. In this case, they only have one student, but I can see that they got one question wrong. So now I'm going to go back to my main screen. Remember, I can click on this EdPuzzle logo in the upper left-hand corner, or I could have clicked on content. So over here on the left, if I go to home, it gives me what's trending in my content area, in my community. I can also click on curriculum because there's actually curriculum already pre-created in EdPuzzle. Remember, you're able to edit anything and make it your own. I can click on my school to see what other people in my school are doing. In this case, I'm the only one that's doing something right now. And I can go to my content. I told you when you're using a free account, you do have limited storage. I believe it's 20 activities. So I just delete them to make space for more, just like I just did for this school year. So that's up to you. You can edit other people's content. You can create your own. Over here on the left, I can see the different channels that I'm able to use. If you wanted to use your own video, you could actually upload a video to YouTube and then pull it right from YouTube here. So I can say, here, let me use this as an example. None of you asked me to, but I thought you might be interested. Let me go ahead and pull this YouTube clip. Okay, here I am here. I'm going to copy this clip at the top and come back to my EdPuzzle. And now I'm going to paste the URL. I think it's just faster to search. So here's the video here. So I could actually, I probably should have thought of this earlier. I can make EdPuzzles for the people who are not watching live and are watching later, and I can plug in my own questions to it. So you can get very creative with this. I also want to mention before we kind of end this specific session that EdPuzzle is an awesome tool. I think especially with the increase in online learning, we have to be very careful with over-tooling the students and kind of over-tooling ourselves. So I really recommend you get really good at your main ones. So for example, if you're pre-K to 2, I would totally know everything about Seesaw. And if I'm 3 to 12, I would know everything there is to know about Google Classroom and Google Drive, because there's a lot built in. But as you start to master those tools, you can bring in more. And it's really helpful because you can collaborate on these things with your teachers in your own building and your own department. Like I showed you here, I could have pulled content from other teachers as well. EdPuzzle is awesome. I love it. There's additional ways to use videos and have assessments too, though. You could actually just embed a video in a Google slide deck and ask questions on a Google form. So you do have many other options to do the same exact thing. This is just another tool to get you there. So remember, it's not so much what the tool is, it's what you can do with the tool. So keep that in mind as we continue to add all of this stuff to our digital backpack. All right, that gives me the 3-minute mark. Lois, I'm not sure how much an account costs. Let's check it out. I was just going to say if anybody has questions, but I see there is one. Let's see. Well, it doesn't say it there. Cost of EdPuzzle. So $9.50 per month for a teacher account. Unlimited storage space for your video. That's the difference. And then there's school and district accounts too, but I'm sure you'd have to give them the exact number of teachers and students. And we don't have a dedicated LMS system that would link with it. What they mean by that is Canva, Schoology, Blackboard, that kind of stuff. All right, any other questions? All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining me this afternoon. I have no window in my office, so I have no idea what the weather is like, but if it's nice, I hope you're enjoying this beautiful day. I will send this PD certs over shortly, and I really appreciate you guys. Oh, Sandy just asked, after we create one, can we download it and keep it forever? I mean, it will just be in your account forever until you delete it. So that's up to you. If you need the storage, then delete it. If you don't, you're fine. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you at many other trainings in the future, and I hope you're having a happy, healthy, safe summer, and I will talk to you guys very soon.